Bullies ripped her dress at school. Big mistake, she's a secret fighter. A story by Heartfelt Tales. The school bell had just rung when the hallway fell into silence. Then came the laughter, sharp, cruel, echoing through the corridor like a blade slicing through still air. Ava stood frozen, her hands trembling at her sides, eyes wide with shock as the sound of tearing fabric cut through her ears. Her dress, her only decent one, hung in shredded pieces from her shoulders, exposed threads dangling like the last remnants of her dignity. Gasps rippled through the crowd, but no one stepped forward. No one ever did. Ava's breath hitched, her heart pounding like a war drum in her chest. But something inside her, something she had buried long ago, stirred. Before the story unfolds, I want to remind you, if you're moved by stories of courage, strength, and real emotional transformation, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Heartfelt Tales. Share this video so Ava's story can inspire others facing their battles. Your engagement helps us bring more real, powerful stories to light. Ava was new. Just 2 weeks into her junior year at Brookwood High. 17, quiet, soft-spoken, and always wearing long sleeves no matter the weather. No one really knew her story. But the popular crowd had already chosen her as their target. Kenzie, the self-proclaimed queen bee, made it a point to humiliate Ava every day, pushing her in the lunch line, spilling juice by accident, whispering loudly about her clothes, her hair, her silence. Today was meant to be the peak. But it backfired spectacularly. Because Ava wasn't just a quiet girl with a haunted past. She was a fighter. Literally. Born in a struggling neighborhood in Atlanta, Ava had grown up in shelters and foster homes. Her last foster mother, Elena, was a retired MMA coach. When Ava moved in at age 12, scared, angry, and tired of being invisible, Elena gave her a pair of gloves instead of sympathy. "You don't need to scream to be heard," she had said. "Let your strength speak for you." For 5 years, Ava trained in silence. Grappling, striking, control. She'd won underground teen tournaments, trained alongside adults twice her size, and learned the art of stillness, of letting others think you're weak before showing what you're really made of. She had promised herself never to fight unless she had no choice. But when the dress tore, when Kenzie laughed in her face and the others recorded it for their next viral moment, Ava knew. It was time. "Apologize," Ava said, her voice low but unshaking. Kenzie smirked. "To you? You should be thankful I even noticed you." The slap was lightning quick, but Ava didn't flinch. Her hand shot up, caught Kenzie's wrist mid-air. And then, movement. A perfectly executed judo throw sent Kenzie crashing to the ground. Gasps erupted from the crowd. The phone's recording didn't miss a second. Kenzie scrambled up, furious. "What are you, some kind of freak?" But Ava didn't respond. Instead, she sidestepped another attack, locked Kenzie's arm in a clean armbar, and brought her to her knees. "Say you're sorry," Ava repeated. Her voice was calm, not angry. "Not just to me. To every person you've hurt because you thought you could." Kenzie whimpered, her voice shaking, I'm sorry." What followed that day wasn't just a moment of shock. It was a turning point. Ava walked away from the crowd, her dress still torn, but her head held high. She didn't return to class. Instead, she walked straight to the principal's office, filed a report, and handed over the videos that students had already begun sharing online. Kenzie was suspended for 2 weeks. Her posse scattered, suddenly less brave without their leader. Ava was offered counseling, but more importantly, respect. Not out of fear, but out of admiration. She had defended herself, but with control. She didn't hurt anyone beyond what was necessary to stop the cruelty. The challenges Ava faced. Ava's battle didn't end in the hallway. For weeks afterward, whispers followed her. Some admired her. Others feared her. Some teachers treated her differently, unsure of how to deal with someone who had shown such skill and power. But the real challenge was internal. Ava didn't want to be known only as the girl who flipped Kenzie. She wanted to be seen, not for her fists, but for her heart. She joined the school's girls' wrestling team. At first, the coach hesitated, worried about what others would think. But after Ava demonstrated her discipline and humility, she not only earned a spot, she led them to win 3 regional competitions. In English class, she began writing essays about trauma, healing, and resilience. One piece, "Stillness is Power," was published in the school newspaper and later picked up by a teen mental health blog, sparking national attention. Ava even reached out to Kenzie privately. Not to fight. Not to gloat. But to talk. Kenzie was defensive, bitter, but Ava saw something familiar in her anger. Hurt. Loneliness. Unprocessed pain. Months later, Kenzie joined a peer mediation group Ava co-founded with the school counselor. The transformation. By senior year, Ava had transformed the culture of her school. She started a self-defense club, not just for girls, but for anyone who wanted to feel stronger and more in control of their lives. The club wasn't about fighting, it was about confidence. The hallway where her dress had been torn became a space where she taught breathing techniques, boundary setting, and conflict resolution. That space was renamed The Center, with the school dedicating a mural to Ava's story, a phoenix rising from ashes. She was offered scholarships not just for athletics, but for leadership and community impact. Her story inspired others, kids who had been bullied, silenced, forgotten. Ava's final speech at graduation moved the entire auditorium to silence. "I used to think my power came from knowing how to fight. But real power is knowing when not to. Real strength is choosing to heal, to forgive, to rise when the world tries to tear you down." So if you're watching this, and you feel like you don't belong, remember this: you don't have to become who they say you are. You are more. Always more. If Ava's journey moved you, please like, comment your favorite part, and subscribe to Heartfelt Tales. Your support helps us bring more raw, powerful stories like this to the world. Share this with someone who needs a reminder of their strength. Let Ava's story echo as a reminder. You may be knocked down, but you are never, ever powerless.